Hi everybody, it's Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from handyandymedia.com, and today I'm going to review for Best Buy's blog on this product right here. It's a smart jump rope from Hygear. It's called the Hyrope Smart Jump Rope. Now in this review, we'll take a look at the design of this jump rope. We'll talk about how you can set it up and get the rope to the appropriate level, especially for you beginner jumpers out there. And then we're going to talk about the smart features, how you can actually record your jump sessions inside the Hygear app, track your workouts and calories burned as you progress on this journey with the jump rope. So without further ado, sit back, relax, get your popcorn ready, folks, and cue the intro. This is actually a smart jump rope, and the way that it works is that it does take batteries, and so you have to put in 2 AAA batteries, and what's interesting is it only goes into one of the handles, but the weight, once you put the batteries in, it actually feels the same on each side. Now in terms of the rope itself, this is using a metal rope that has this PVC plastic on top, and this is actually one of the first types of ropes I used when I learned to jump rope, I'd say about 2 years ago. And you know, I learned during the pandemic, and I'm actually it's a huge part of my life. I jump every single day. But when I first started, I used this type of rope. It's durable and it doesn't get tangled as much, so you can actually get a lot out of it, whether you're jumping on concrete or say on a pad. The way that you actually adjust the rope inside the handle is by making a loop inside over here. There's this little plastic cover that you can take off, and then you slide it in and then adjust it to basically where you want. There is then this clip on the other end which you would clip together so that your excess rope is nicely secured. Now in terms of, you know, the length that you need for jumping, it really comes down to personal preference. But generally speaking, if you put your foot on the middle of the rope and put it up, it should reach somewhere around your armpits. And typically some people like a little bit shorter from there, others like a little bit longer, but that's the range that you're going to be adjusting for your rope. Now, as I mentioned, I jump rope all the time, but I use a different type of rope. It's a nylon rope with a plastic handle. This handle is much longer than what I'm typically used to, and what's interesting is on the side of one of them you actually have this LED display that gives you information about your jump session. Now when I looked at the instructions, I couldn't really find much information on this, so this actual display doesn't make a lot of sense to me as I'm jumping. It's not really clear on what you're looking at. However, all of your sessions are going to go inside the Hygear app, and that's because this has Bluetooth. So it pairs with Bluetooth to your device, which is like your smartphone or your tablet. You open up the Hygear app, and then inside there, you can do what I did, a freestyle jump session. You can pick how many sets, how many jumps you want per set, or you can go by time, calories, what have you. But once you set that up, you can then start tracking your jumps. And if you're new to jump rope or you're a little bit intermediate, this is a great way to track your workouts. Make sure you're not jumping too much during each session because you don't want to hurt your feet. But at the same time, you can kind of track your calories burned and what have you. Now, for me personally, what was interesting is I wanted to record my first experience using this rope. And so the footage that I'm showing you, it's basically the first time I actually used it. I'm familiar with this type of rope, but the handles were actually a little bit longer for me. So when I was trying to do my crisscross move, I was having some difficulties. I even kind of hurt myself because it's just, you know, you get used to one rope over another. So this was kind of like, it was kind of different. It's like using someone else's equipment. It feels a little bit weird. However, over time, I was able to get comfortable with it enough that I could do my typical footwork moves. I could do double unders for an extensive period of time with this. So I can see that if I were to use this over a long period of time, I could get comfortable with it enough to do pretty much all the standard moves that I do. Now, in terms of it being just a jump rope itself, you know, not including the smart features, it is a nice rope. I do like this metal rope that has that PVC cover. It's durable. It's something that you could use for a long time. Even some of my favorite boxers, you know, this is the type of rope that they use. For me, the handle is a little long. I would like to see it a shorter handle version that's also smart. I think that would be good because I don't really have big hands, and this just feels unnecessarily big in terms of the handles. So if they can make it a little bit smaller, that would be a good idea. Also, try to make the handles as light as possible. I know there's kind of batteries in here, but maybe have a built-in battery. You can charge it over USB. I think something like that would be a good idea. Like, this is really like the first version of these jump ropes. So I see this category developing in the future. And me being a data nerd, someone who loves to track all of my workouts, I think that there's a really good future for smart jump ropes. But if you are a beginner and you do just want the ability to track your jumps inside of an app, this is really a good start. You know, if you're not picky about having long handles. A lot of people actually prefer to have larger handles, and there is the ability of actually putting your own rope in here, provided that it can fit in. So there is a little flexibility in there in terms of your jumping preferences when it comes to the rope that you use. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Hyrope Smart Jump Rope by Hygear. If you did, please smash that like button, leave your comments below, and of course, subscribe to this channel. If you want to get more information about your boy, you can reach me at my website, handyandymedia.com. I also have a YouTube channel where I review tech, but I do a lot of how-to content as well. I'm really into like gardening and using reclaimed wood. So if you're interested in DIY content, you want to subscribe to that as well. Once again, my name is Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from Handy Andy Media, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.